He's very brave, and he always just has the most positive attitude.
They say there's no crying in baseball. But after hearing Andrew Barr's story, they might just reconsider.
He loves all the sports, so baseball, basketball are his two top favorites.
2 years ago, Andrew Barr was your typical second grade boy, 8 years old and active.
Your mom said you love sports.
Yeah, I did.
Always have?
Yeah.
As winter turned to spring, Andrew was excited to be back on the baseball diamond with his Little League buddies. But life was a little harder on the baseball field that year. Andrew's leg had been bothering him since the fall soccer season, and it only seemed to be getting worse.
Off and on he would just, limp or have, like little bits of pain.
Initial x-rays showed no issues. Probably just growing pains was the consensus.
They said, he's an active boy, let him go, let him play.
But as the season wore on, the pain and Andrew's limp worsened.
In second grade, there were days he would come home from school and he was in so much pain he would go lay down in his bed for the rest of the day. So we knew something was wrong.
In May of 2023, an MRI would reveal that Andrew had a condition that affects the hip joint, called Perthes disease.
They don't have any idea what causes it. Basically, the blood supply gets cut off from the head of the femur, and so the head of the femur dies, and it has to break apart, and then it rebuilds. They told us at the time it would be, about 2 to 5 years.
Andrew's baseball season was over. His ability to walk was too.
Watching the surgeon tell my son, who's let me finish the season, I want to play baseball, that he can't walk anymore was really, really, really hard.
How did Andrew take that news?
It was pretty heartbreaking because we knew it wasn't just like, oh, you're out this season, but you broke a leg and you can get back, or you broke an arm and you can get back. It was, you're out for, I don't know, years maybe.
In June, he underwent surgery.
They cut a tendon to try to give him better range of motion because he was losing his ability to lift a leg out to the side. He was walking, not just with a limp, but kind of swinging his leg a little bit. And then they put him in this double leg Petri cast with a bar in the middle. And so then he had to be in a wheelchair because he couldn't put any weight on it and his legs were stuck out. So we had to lift him.
Good job, buddy.
It has this big metal bar in the middle, so I couldn't like it's basically like you're almost doing the splits, so it hurt.
For the next 6 weeks, the Bars would come up with creative ways to get Andrew up and down the stairs, move him around, and keep him engaged.
Oh, got hit in the face.
Was this first take? First take, or was this 32 in?
Probably like 32 in because it's actually really hard to do a layup pushing him in a wheelchair. He got out of the Petri cast and then we were told just let him walk on it. And it still wasn't regrown and there probably wasn't any blood flow, but just make him walk on it. He really wasn't able to. It hurt pretty bad for him to walk on it, and he honestly seemed worse. It just didn't feel right. It was like something's not right, and making him walk on it doesn't feel right.
Unable to get answers, the Bars searched out multiple opinions and pushed for a perfusion MRI.
That perfusion MRI will tell you how much of the femoral head is dead, and they said, well, we can't do that in this state. You'd have to go to Dallas for that.
In August, Andrew, along with his family, would make their first of many trips to Dallas, Texas, where they would see a Perthes specialist at Scottish Rite Children's Hospital. There, the Bars were advised another surgery would be the best course of action.
Femoral osteotomy, where they cut a little piece out of the femur, and they put a plate and some screws, and they kind of keep it contained.
That December, Andrew would undergo surgery again.
Here's his hardware when he had his surgery. That's the piece they cut out.
The plate was removed in June of 2024, but Andrew still had a long road to recovery.
Defender? Let's see a layup from you.
You know, it's like he just doesn't really ever let it get him down, so we just had to match his enthusiasm.
What are you doing?
I'm rowing.
You're rowing?
Yeah.
How'd you feel during that time?
I was kind of trying to stay positive, but I really wasn't.
You're supporting your leg on your own this time. That's awesome.
They slowly kind of let him put 30% of his weight on, and then 60%. And then just this last December, they let him actually walk because the blood flow had returned, and they were able to see some regrowth of the bone.
In December of 2024, after almost 2 years of being unable to walk, 2 years of being unable to play organized sports, and 2 years of endless physical therapy sessions, Andrew was cleared to walk again.
You can go ahead and walk, and he goes, right now? And so he was walking in circles in the exam room, like back and forth.
Nothing to see here.
What was that like for you, Andrew, getting a walk? Were you excited?
Yeah.
What do you think, buddy?
Awesome.
Now, the 10-year-old is back on the baseball diamond, back playing the game he loves with his buddies, and back having the time of his life.
1, 2, 3. Bulldogs!
He's taking 2.
He's going to 2. Good job, Andrew!
It's so amazing to see him do something that he loves again.
They say there's no crying in baseball, but maybe, just maybe, there's room for a few tears of joy. In Redmond, Eric Lindstrom, Central Oregon Daily News.